are seeing the Spire now, so we could be seeing the Lurkers followed by Mulisk. That is a possibility. I think UOV has scanned his main base at least once here, so he's going to probably not build that many turrets in anticipation for Mulisk. Instead, he's probably going to put a bunker or two down, and he went for a relatively early factory, so it seems like he's going to be going for early tanks. And oh, looks like this! He actually was saving these fire bats to try to take out Savior's new expansion. Very smart move here. Ma Jae-yoon, of course, looking very, very calmly at this scene. He's just saying, okay, nice little deviation there, Oof, but I'm going to take care of it even if I do lose this hatchery. It does look like he could lose the hatch if he doesn't have lurkers there on time. He's trying to get Zerglings there, but 3 firebats. Oh, but Oof not paying attention to his medic there. If that medic gets picked off, those firebats will be much more vulnerable. But no, they're just roasting. Absolutely roasting Zerglings as they come. And the hatchery is probably going to go down. I don't know, Savior... very, very close to losing the hatch and the investment there. 30, 70, 50. Oh no, but the firebats are not targeting anymore. And they get owned by 2 lurkers. Hopefully you guys heard that clapping. I was pausing there to let you guys hear some clapping. I don't know if it's the announcers or the audience, but certainly, you know, this is very, very high level Zerg play, especially for 2006. You know, the game is always developing, so at this point it was a very, very high level. Here comes the Lurker burrow here. One lurker gets caught off position and gets killed by the Mech Marines. Nice work there by UOV. I'm not sure if there is an upgrade because of this stupid bar on the bottom, so there might be +1 attack for UOV. Maybe that's what they were trying to show. That is certainly a possibility. And meanwhile, tanks are coming out now. We'll see if Savior decides to build any Mulisks or if that Spire is just for Scourge. UOV getting his Science Vessels out very early here. Of course, it's very good against lurkers to do that. Excuse me. And now UOV building some turrets, getting a nice turret wall. And Savior has built Mulisks. Savior also a very good Mulisk controller back in the day. And looks like Savior has not stacked yet. Actually, I believe this may actually be before the day of Mulisk stacking, before it was discovered. And July Zerg, of course, revolutionized Zerg by doing it. But we'll see if Savior goes in with stacked Mulisks or not. That will certainly give us, well, that we'll know whether he can stack them or not. Does not look like they're perfectly stacked. So it is pre-Mulisk stacking trick days, I think. And, you know, you could still... Wait, no, they look stacked. I don't remember exactly what year it was. It might have been 2005, actually, so in which case he would have that ability. But yeah, anyway, Savior picks up his 3rd gas. He doesn't have a lot of drones on minerals, so... his economy is not that strong, but he is getting his evolution chamber down. We'll see if he decides to get a 4th base or not before going to Hive. Meanwhile, Savior picking off that turret is going to burn down. And Savior, once he takes down the turret, I don't think there's actually other turrets. Oh, Savior coming in with the last blow there. ILoveOOV was trying to repair. Savior can really abuse that little cliff there a little bit and try to pick off some Marines. We're seeing he's actually just sitting for now. Going to harass that turret. Looks like there's a lot of Marines there, so he's not going to commit. And UOV looks pretty prepared now for a frontal break with lurkers. There's no way Savior's going to be able to fight against a vessel and 2 tanks there with his force right now. But on the other hand, UOV doesn't have a lot to push out with. He needs to build up his Medic Marine force again. And meanwhile, we're seeing Zerglings kill off that SCV. SCV is going to spot the 3rd expansion going up now at the upper right. And that is going to be the 4th gas for Savior, so UOV definitely wants to move out soon and try to kill off one of these expansions, or 2 of them obviously would be very good too. I believe Irradiate is done at this point for UOV. Another upgrade going up in the Engineering Bay. Unfortunately, we can't see what the upgrades are. And here we're seeing Savior going in for another harass. It's not going to work though. The turrets there are going to drive him away. Savior has no indication he's going to Hive just yet, so he is going to stay a little bit longer. Once again, my predictions get owned. I was expecting to go, 3 hatch or 4 hatch immediately into Hive, but it doesn't look like he's going to do that. Probably because of the architecture of this map. The spawn locations are definitely close to each other, and that helps the Terran a lot in this map, I think. And certainly these high ground and low grounds also help them. Although this map is perfectly divided in terms of statistics, it's perfectly balanced, it seems. 50% balance over 44 games, so it does look like a very even map for the Terran versus Zerg matchup. And here we're seeing a large ball here from UOV. He's probably going to move out pretty soon. UOV known for his macro, of course. Known as a cheater Terran because of how he would be able to just get armies instantly with better macro than any other Terran player at his time. Of course, nowadays, his macro, to be absolutely honest, nowadays would probably be just average compared to some of the Terrans nowadays, whose mechanics have, of course, been... the bar for mechanics has been raised constantly over the course of StarCraft. So, I'm sure his macro wouldn't be better than, say, a Flash or a 4GG or a Fantasy or any of the other top level or Firebat Hero, even top level Terrans out there right now, they would all be quote unquote perfect macroers back in 2005. But anyway, I digress there. It looks like two facts pumping tanks. Actually, the science vessels do not have Irradiate because it's just flashing right now unless they're getting EMP, which makes no sense. Yeah, or like energy or something. Anyway, OOV pushing him back there, and Savior needs to get Defilers out. That's why I'm almost surprised. Oh, nice Mutabomb there. Managed to pick off the Science Vessel, and a good pull by Savior. So he definitely did some good work there, but still another Science Vessel there, and Savior just basically burrowing and unburrowing here, trying to buy himself some time. And he's going to need to basically stop this force before Defilers come out. He's going to need to do a surround, I think. Otherwise, he's going to lose his whole force if he goes frontal, but he is going to go frontal, and OOV making a big mistake here, leaving his tanks out in front. The ball was not well positioned there, and this is not good for OOV. Savior is going to be able to beat this force back with just Lurkers and Mutalisks, and OOV in big trouble here. He's going to even lose this. No, the vessel's not going down there. Scourge getting killed off, but huge amount of Lurkers for Savior. Really, really amazing play there, and really, honestly, though, that was more of a mistake from OOV's side, I feel, because he left his tanks exposed, and that was just terrible. And Savior is not the kind of person who gives mercy. OOV starting to breathe a little bit hard now. OOV known for breathing hard. Savior known for being an absolute cold-hearted machine until he broke down, until the machine broke down in 2007, 2008 especially. But anyway, Savior moving in with more Lurkers. D-Matrix on that tank, going to buy it a little more life, but not enough. Savior taking down OOV's entire army and swinging the game way, way in his favor. OOV still on two bases, of course. He needed that attack to win, and it didn't work out for him. He's getting more factories, pumping all tanks, but this is not enough, I feel. Dark Swarm's coming up pretty soon. We saw the Defiler's mound going up, and Savior is going to be in great, great position to show off some of his amazing Defiler play. And Savior still, I would say, is one of the best in using Defilers. I would say even today, his skills, back in 2006, his skills would rival any Zerg today. Still, I mean, modern or in the past. Of course, Savior has slipped, as everyone knows. He is not playing his best right now, although I do have some hope for him. He did make it into the MSL at least, the round of 32. Well, he has been eliminating the OSL in the preliminaries. He's at least has an over 50% record also in the Pro League. So, certainly doing better than he was last summer. Or this summer, rather, when he was just playing terribly. And he was also on CJ Entus's B team for a while. OOV trying to macro up and trying to push forward and gain a little more position, but I think this is going to be in vain. Savior's known for his late game control. He's absolutely famous for it, in fact, and it was just unstoppable at the time. I mean, you'll see very, very soon, I believe, what made him the legend that we all love him for. I mean, if you just started watching StarCraft in the last year, you probably think of Savior as a little bit overrated, or, just wondering why a lot of us fans are so enamored with Savior and so sad to see him playing poorly. But, you'll see, I think, in this game, and maybe if I do a couple of other games of Savior back in the day, that he was indeed just unstoppable back then. Here we're seeing the Defilers. They got consumed done, so Dark Swarm's coming out soon. And let's see this attack. He's going to use his Lurker Ling Defiler combination. That was his late game combination, basically. He didn't rely on Ultras very quickly or anything like that. He wouldn't get them very early. In general, he did use Lurker Ling as his standard late game formation. And, it certainly worked out very well here. Looks like OOV this time has got good protection for his tanks. Savior bringing a couple of Lings in the back. OOV, meanwhile, setting up his third, finally. His third base at the left side, 9 o'clock position. And actually, OOV could be doing a better job, but he is scattering